sentence you up to life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. When is the last time you've used any type of substance
I haven't used any type of substance.
in your lifetime?
Well, no, it's been quite a while.
So my question is, when is the last time?
Probably about a year and a half ago.
And what drugs were you using a year and a half ago?
Marijuana.
That's all.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, today we've got a courtroom moment that feels more like a scene from a scripted drama. But nope, this is 100% real. A defendant walks in, charged with a first-degree felony meth offense in Texas, which carries a sentence ranging from 5 years to life behind bars. And she's acting like it's just a minor hiccup in her day. Seriously, the stakes couldn't be higher, but her demeanor, cold, detached, and completely unbothered. You'd expect at least some recognition of the gravity here, but instead, it's a vacant stare, like the judge is reading out instructions for a coffee machine instead of a potential life sentence. And let's talk about the presentation. She walks into court holding a Louis Vuitton bag, like she's headed to brunch instead of a felony hearing. The vibe is off. It's almost like she's daring the court to make an example out of her. And with the way she's carrying herself, that may very well happen in a state like Texas where drug charges are no joke. This kind of indifference doesn't usually go unpunished. And while everyone deserves a fair trial and the chance to rehabilitate, it's hard not to wonder, is she already beyond that point? So, what do you think? Is this someone who deserves another shot? Or are we looking at someone who's completely disconnected from the weight of their actions? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear your take. And with that, let's dive into the footage and see how Judge Boy responds to this courtroom curveball.
Court is calling 2023 CR 2172 State of Texas versus Satare Portillo. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
Robert Porter.
All right, so we're here for sentencing. We've been waiting for the results of a UA and that result hasn't come in yet. Probation, do you have any idea when that will be ready?
That was done in off-site, so if I would have thought that we would have received it by now, the results didn't go on the day. It wasn't submitted on the day that the court required, so it took a little while to get her in. So right now we're just waiting. It was submitted on the 21st, so I thought it would be in by yesterday, today, but it still says today.
All right, Ms. Portillo, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, you can lower your hand. How many children do you have?
2,
What are their ages?
6, and 14.
Are you employed?
And
What do you do?
managed properties, apartments,
Okay. How long have you been doing that?
8 years.
And does anyone live with you other than your children, or do your children live with you?
Yes, they do.
All right, anyone else stay with you?
My aunt as well.
When is the last time you've used any type of substance
I haven't used any type of substance.
in your lifetime?
Well, no, it's been quite a while.
So my question is, when is the last time?
Probably about a year and a half ago.
And what drugs were you using a year and a half ago?
Marijuana.
That's all.
Yes.
Okay. This is what I'm going to want, probation. You need a pen? All right. It's going to be 8 years deferred adjudication, $2,000 fine probated. I'm going to want her on the patch until further notice. All right. So 8 years, sorry about that. 8 years deferred adjudication, $2,000 fine probated, a patch until further notice. I'm going to want a TAP evaluation done and follow all TAP recommendations. And counsel, if TAP recommends inpatient treatment, you'll need to come back to court.
Yes, sir.
There's to be 200 hours community service restitution. She's to complete parenting classes, and those hours will be waived once parenting classes are completed. And probation, you can decide which parenting classes you all think would be appropriate for her. proof of employment. Y'all need to whisper proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home healthcare provider or with minors. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. I'm going to want field visits one time every 3 months. Random. Who is Michael Portillo? That's your
That's it.
juvenile child, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Who is Maria Avalos?
My ex-mother-in-law.
There's to be no contact with Maria Guadalupe Aveles. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Aviles.
Fabulous.
Aveles.
Could I say something though?
Sure.
Oh. Well, because my mother-in-law, we do have a lot of contact with my daughter, so. We have to contact each other. Because I'm not supposed to have contact with her, my ex-husband.
Oh, for kid exchange?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to find somebody else.
You can- I'll talk to him about that.
All right, thank you. Probation, is there anything else she needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No.
All right, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. And counsel, I believe I gave you a copy last time. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes. Ma'am.
All right, from here on out, everything that you do in your life, there are 2 questions you should ask yourself before doing them. Is this something that could result in me going to prison for life? If the answer is yes, don't do it. The other question you should ask yourself, is this something that may result in me going to prison for the rest of my life? If the answer is yes, don't do it. Do you understand?
I do understand.
I take no joy or pleasure in sending the people to prison. But if it's warranted, I will. And your attorney will tell you I've sent people to prison before. So you have children,
Yes.
you need to look out for them. All right, good luck.
All right. So fast forward 11 months later, and we're back in court with the same defendant, only this time the vibe is completely different. Gone is the Louis Vuitton bag, the glam, and the attitude. Today, she's dressed head to toe in county blue, and not by choice. It's a total 180 from her first appearance, where she strolled into court like it was some kind of red carpet event, all while facing a charge that could land her in prison for life. It's honestly baffling. What was the endgame there? Show off one last time before sentencing. Whatever it was, it didn't work. Here's where things take a serious turn. Since her last hearing, she failed to sign the TAP agreement. That's a treatment and probation program that would have spared her from prison. All she had to do was agree to go to rehab and follow through. Instead, she just ... didn't sign. No explanation, no action, just silence. And in the court's eyes, that silence speaks volumes. In fact, some states treat that as a straight-up violation of the deal, and it can actually trigger even harsher penalties than the original sentence. It's almost like she's asking to be locked up now. She's back in front of Judge Boyd. And let's just say, this time, she's not walking in like she owns the place. She's staring down the real possibility of prison time, and a lot of it. So let's go ahead and dive into this next part of the hearing. Because things are definitely getting serious now. And as always, let me know in the comments, do you think the judge should still give her another shot at treatment? Or is it time to face the full sentence?
23 CR 2172, State of Texas versus Satara Portillo. Could I have the parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Defense?
The attorney of record is Joanne De Hoyos. Joseph Statesman standing in. Ms. Portillo, will you give this court permission for me to do this in place of Ms. De Hoyos?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Portillo, did you review the document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
Are you the same Satari B. Portillo who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2023 CR 2172 for the offense of possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance penalty group 1, 4 grams to 200 grams on July 27, 2023 for a period of 8 years. Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Violating condition number 35, on or about the 25th day of March 2024 in Bear County, Texas, the defendant, Satara P. then and there failed to follow the TAP recommendations to include inpatient as directed by the court in violation of condition number 35.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Your Honor, state waives all the violations.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
None.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition 35, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, sentence you up to life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 35?
Yes.
Court will find violation of condition number 35 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, it's altered amend for state ISF, the substance abuse program, followed by aftercare with ISP, weekly UAs with zero tolerance.
All right, so what I can tell you all, if you want to reconsider things, you can, but I'm not following that agreement.
We could step away for a moment.
We're gonna go back on the record in 2023 CR 2172, State of Texas versus Satara Portillo. Could I have parties announced for the record?
Daniel Escobar for the state.
Joseph Stateson, continuing to fill in for Mr. Hoyos.
All right. The defendant had entered a plea of true to violation of condition number 35. Do you wish to continue with your plea of true in violation of condition number 35?
Yes.
All right, the court will find violation of condition number 35 true. Is there a proposed agreement?
Your Honor, if I may,
Yes.
I discussed this with the COO, Ms. Abrams, and ADA Daniel. My client is asking to be continued. We had a recommendation that was a three-way agreement. I understand the court didn't want to follow that. I had proposed something to Daniel. I'm hoping that you would consider this. But just some background a little bit first. Her prior MTR was disposed of February 27th, 2024. But she was booked February 3rd, 2024. So from February 3rd till today, according to the clerk, it's 137 days. So she's had the equivalent of a, not court ordered, but equivalent of a 4-month jail sanction. She will admit, well, she did admit that she refused to sign conditions for inpatient. She's willing to do not just ISF, she's willing to do SAT-F. She's willing to redo all her classes. She's been in jail for quite a long time. That's her own mistake. She admits that she didn't want to sign it. Maybe she was reluctant to, but she thought that she was supposed to get out, have court, and come back and do things, and she never left the jail. And out of frustration, she didn't sign the conditions.
No, I don't think she's a good candidate for probation. She was supposed to sign the conditions, the TAP recommended inpatient treatment, and she didn't do it. So
I genuinely don't know what this woman expected the outcome to be. When you refuse to sign your TAP agreement, you're not just stalling, you're basically standing up and saying, yeah, I'd rather serve serious time than take the chance to clean my life up. It's honestly one of the easiest choices the court can give someone. Enter treatment and potentially walk away with your freedom, or reject it and trade your street clothes for a jumpsuit. Like, ... how is that a tough call? If anyone in the comments has a theory about what she was thinking, I'm all ears, because right now, it just looks like self-sabotage in high definition. The TAP program is literally designed for people who want a fresh start. It's not for shofos treating the courtroom like a fashion event, flashing designer bags while facing felony charges. And now, that Louis Vuitton is long gone. She's in a county-issued blue uniform, and the only thing she's carrying now is a duffel bag full of poor decisions to the court. Refusing that deal is like holding up a neon sign that says, I'm not ready to change. It's not just disrespectful, it's telling the judge, don't waste time on me. So now we wait and see if Judge Boyd is feeling merciful today, or if she's ready to hit the brakes on the second chances and finally send this defendant where she's been drifting toward from day one, state prison. Let's go ahead and watch. how this one plays out, because the next few minutes might change her life for good.
Think she should be continuing on probation. She was given opportunity. And counsel, as you just stated, this is not her first motion to revoke. Her previous motion to revoke was on February 27th, as you stated. And there was a violation of condition number 1. And I ordered that there be a TAP evaluation in custody to follow those recommendations. And she decided that she didn't want to follow those recommendations. I don't see how there's anything that I can do anything for her. People don't get it. You're not supposed to, when the court orders you to do something, for example, to help you by following the recommendations of TAP. TAP recommended inpatient treatment. And I know sometimes people get to talking to people at the Bexar County Jail. And when I say people at the Bexar County Jail, I mean other inmates. And they give people advice, and people want to follow the advice of an inmate, not realizing that, guess what? That person is in custody. But I made an order, and we can't do this thing where I order somebody to follow the TAP recommendations, and the TAP says inpatient, and then somebody says, I'm not signing to go to inpatient. And then what ends up happening when reality hits that your range of punishment is 5 to 99 years or life, then people come before the court and they want to say, oh, you know what? I changed my mind. Now I will do inpatient treatment. So that's where we are.
And
I
Your
don't think
Honor,
she's a good candidate.
she's also willing to take a felony conviction, change it from deferred to straight probation. She's willing to do the harsher inpatient treatment program with 0 tolerance. It was a poor decision for her to not sign that. 4 months she's been in here. She's willing to sign this, willing to do this, and even add to these conditions.
I just don't think she's a good candidate. If somebody wants to argue to me why she would be a good candidate for probation, when this is her second motion to revoke, and I ordered her to follow the recommendations of the TAP evaluation, and she didn't want to follow them. But now she does, because I don't know, I guess she thought a motion to revoke would not be filed against her.
Yeah, I didn't know that that's what would result.
Oh,
I
so
thought
these are called consequences.
Well, Your Honor, also the charge itself, people who are affected with these substances may not make the best decisions in life. To prevent her from reoffending in the future, relapsing, and she's willing to do even more intensive inpatient.
But she's charged with possession with intent to deliver, and I understand that sometimes when people have possession with intent to deliver cases, sometimes they're selling because they're also using. But the amount of methamphetamine she had was 27.980 grams. I don't think probation is appropriate for her. I'm not going to continue on probation. I'm going to revoke her and find her guilty. Does anybody wish to speak to punishment?
Defense would ask for the minimum time, Your Honor, with credit for time served.
All right, I'll sentence her to 5 years in the prison. Give her credit for any time served. And I'll ask for the therapeutic community. I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
yes,
But you do have a limited right to appeal. That right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you are on deferred adjudication. Do you understand?
yes, ma'am.
All right. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney.
Honestly, she should be on her knees thanking Judge Boyd for the sentence she just got, because that could have gone way worse. Let's not forget, this wasn't a light charge. She was looking at anywhere from 5 to 99 years behind bars for meth possession, and what did she get? It's the absolute minimum, 5 years, with credit, and the wild part is, she basically gave herself that sentence. She could have been out on the street today under deferred adjudication, which would meant treatment supervision, and a real shot at staying out of prison. But no, she chose the hard road. Whether it was apathy or arrogance, she made it clear. She wasn't interested in the help the system was offering. And look, from a legal and logistical standpoint, probation isn't just a gift. It's a full system: treatment programs, court, monitoring, reporting staff, real resources. When someone like her shows no intention of following through, that entire structure gets wasted. And Judge Boyd saw that dot in her case. Prison isn't just punishment, it's efficiency. The court has to consider the weight of the charge, too. We're talking 29 grams of meth. That's not personal use territory. That's a red flag for distribution, for ongoing drug use, for repeat violations. The court isn't going to roll the dice on someone who's already thrown away every lifeline. Now, to be fair, I disagreed with Judge Boyd's first ruling. I thought she went a little too soft. But this time, denying probation? That made total sense. It's not about being harsh. It's about not burning through second chances on someone who clearly doesn't want them. But hey, that's my read on it. What do you think? Did she deserve another opportunity to get clean on the outside? Or was this already more leniency than most people ever get? Drop your thoughts down below. I'm really curious where you land on this one. And as always, if you're enjoying these courtroom breakdowns, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss what's coming next. Appreciate you all for watching. Stay smart, stay grounded, and I'll catch you in the next one.